Being wealthy is a necessity these days, as any child can tell you, but the mistake that some make is that they begin and end with their appearance. The most flashy bags, the largest cars, the most expensive dresses, and so on. It's all for show, all for approval. The irony is that, despite giving the impression of a wealthy person, their finances are in shambles. However, acting wealthy may earn you a title and some social credit. But what's the point of having that if you don't have any money saved up for your future self? Trying to look rich is keeping you bored, and I'm going to tell you why today. So, if you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up for that YouTube algorithm. And subscribe to Rethinking Yourself. So let's get started. I'm not sure about you, but acting like someone I'm not is exhausting, and most of the time. It's because I'm trying to impress people who couldn't care less harsh. Sure, but I've realized that nobody wants to appear to be the poor guy when they're around rich people. However, it is a surefire way to end up in financial trouble. The good news is that taking steps to reduce your overspending is actually quite simple. Small controllable adjustments made gradually have a higher chance of sticking over time. Setting concrete goals and laying a foundation with a budget and emergency fund may be more beneficial than relying solely on willpower. It's also a good idea to avoid your wealthy friends, especially if you can tell they only get together for expensive events. The wise thing to do is stick to your budget, live below your means, and distance yourself from so-called friends who make you act like someone you're not. Most people take out large bank loans just to maintain their expensive status. But here's some bad news for you, buddy. This is how you end up with a bad financial situation. So you try to appear wealthy, but you end up with less and less money each time. It's ironic that your attempt to become wealthy is having the opposite effect. In reality, you're digging your own financial grave. When discussing this subject, the word ironic cannot be overstated. The good news is that there is always a solution to every problem, including this one. The simplest way to avoid this situation is to avoid paying for things you cannot afford. If you recall, Rich Dad Poor Dad author Robert Kiyosaki discussed your financial and income statement in the book. He discussed the two main sections of a typical income statement. This is a list of your assets and liabilities. Your assets are essentially things that bring money in, while your liabilities are things that take money away. He stated that we should always spend more money in the assets column on assets that bring in money and do our best to reduce our liabilities, in this case, trying to look rich. As a big liability, as you probably know, credit card loans and debt are not worth it. That being said, using your credit card and paying it off is a great idea. This is because the more you borrow and pay back on time, the higher your credit score will be, making things like getting a mortgage to buy a house much easier and cheaper in the future. So, if you're going to take out a loan, make sure you'll be able to repay it. Oh, and don't take out a loan to buy Gucci 5, you'll end up investing less. Otherwise, not at all. It is common knowledge that wealthy people have multiple income streams from investments. As one of them, many people talk about the power of compound interest, and many ordinary people are encouraged to get their hands dirty with it as soon as possible. But here's the thing. If you're in debt and trying to pay off loan after loan, set money aside for investing. It appears to be a pipe dream. If you truly want to look like the rich, imitate their principles and routines rather than their wardrobe. In fact, I can assure you that truly wealthy people are more concerned with their future than with logos. They invest consistently in both retirement and non-retirement accounts. They understand that money is a valuable commodity that must be earned. As a result, they keep track of their income and expenses in order to maximize their returns. So take a cue from our wealthy friends and stop obsessing over how to build your investment portfolio. If you want to be perceived as a true millionaire, because you will always want to help others financially. The rich understand the value of money because they earned it. However, when it comes to giving it away, they are hesitant and do so only after careful consideration. While helping others, whether family or friends, is a noble thing to do, don't fall into the trap of giving at the expense of your own financial security. This is not to say you should stop giving entirely. No. In fact, if you have more than enough money, it is an honorable thing to give to those in need. Here's how you should go about it. Investigate what they intend to spend it on, and don't give your money to someone who won't recognize its worth. Also, make certain that they will return it. Don't be a coward. Unless you don't care whether it comes back to you or not, in which case you should still make sure the money is put to good use. Don't be stingy with your money for the sake of appearances. 3. You're overindulging yourself. We all enjoy a good treat, especially when we've worked hard for it. But, if we're being honest, how many times have you overindulged yourself? Even if you knew there was no personal reason for it? I know I'm guilty, and I've done it many times to myself. It all starts with one overpriced iced coffee from the local cafe and spirals downward from there. But do you know what the truly wealthy do? The ones who don't care about appearances. They occasionally treat themselves to a nice luxury handbag or a soft cashmere sweater. When they do, they consider it an investment rather than a splurge. I.e., it's something they'll treasure for the rest of their lives and probably pass down to their children. Another thing they do is look at self-care from a different perspective. They take good care of their bodies. They take good care of their minds. This includes going to the gym on a daily basis and eating hearty, fresh, and healthy home-cooked meals. They spend money on books and courses that will enlighten their minds and help them elevate every aspect of their lives at every meal. I believe we can all learn from these wealthy individuals rather than the appearance-obsessed ones. Therefore, as the wealthy, treat yourself to a good and healthy lifestyle. 2. If you look at the rich guys who have worked their way up there and are well acquainted with hard work, you're getting comfortable. If you want to achieve their level of success, you must step outside of your comfort zone in order to build your own wealth. Leaving your comfort zone could mean getting a job you don't feel qualified for, learning a new skill or asking for help from other people. And even losing sleep sometimes because you have to run from job number 3 to job number 4. Don't get comfortable to the point where all you do is spend but barely make enough develop the ability to function in a constant state of uncertainty, and it'll keep you above your finances. One who is preoccupied with the present rather than planning for the future. We've already touched on the spending habits of actual wealthy people. They think carefully before purchasing, and when they do, it's always a timeless piece that will last for generations. Don't be that person who follows trends 24 hours a day, who throws away their old iPhone to get the new one even though they don't need it. Focus on the future, on accumulating assets and improving your health. Aside from not spending mindlessly, make sure you have enough in retirement and savings accounts and that you've invested a significant portion of your income. When it comes time to spend, consider it thoroughly. Is this something I really need, or is it just another expense to fill the void in my future planning? Is rule number 1 in the How to Be Rich guidebook, and ignoring it is the biggest financial mistake you can make, so don't fall into the trap of trying to look rich while breaking the bank. If you feel the need to change who you are in order to fit in, it's time to take an honest look at yourself. Don't worry about how you appear to others as long as you're presentable and properly dressed. Believe me when I say you have a good focus on what is truly important. Take the time to gradually build your wealth by saving, investing, and then saving and investing some more. Think before you buy, and don't buy on impulse if you want to be validated by people who don't know what they're talking about. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video both informative and entertaining. Also, I made a free guide for you that you can find in the descriptions. As always, make sure to give this video a thumbs up for that infamous YouTube algorithm and subscribe if you haven't already. With that said, have a great day and I'll see you all in the next one.